Let us away. Let's see. Bones found in duffel bag at Tampa International Airport. This was yesterday.
Screeners
I didn't see
a lot
this,
of things
but now
at
we
Tampa
do.
International, but this has got
Apparently
to be a new one. What appears to be human remains were uncovered in a passenger's suitcase. Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer is at Tampa International for us tonight. Aaron, is this really what it looks like?
Allie, those are the human remains that Customs and Border Protection says they found in someone's luggage as they were getting screened coming in from somewhere else in the world.
You can imagine what must have been going through their
minds. Maybe pretty similar to what we saw when we showed those photos to travelers.
These are the kinds of images that would make a lot of people react just like this.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell, too? Why
came
do
from
you
a
have
social
human
media post
remains
from
in your
Customs and Border
fucking luggage
Protection's
like
Director of Operations, Carlos Martel. He wrote on X, quote, "From cigars to bones, what started as a passenger declaring just 10 cigars at Tampa International Airport turned bizarre." Martel continued, CBP specialists uncovered what looked like human remains, including part of a skull wrapped in foil in a duffel bag.
That's not normal. And why is that in your luggage? And what did you do? And who did you do it to?
I told you.
A lot of questions from travelers just hearing about the news Friday.
Where are you coming from? Like, and you decided to
Like,
carry
what the fuck?
human
What are you
remains with you.
doing?
Like, why?
That's disgusting. I can't even lie. I can never imagine opening the bag and seeing that in there.
Authorities say they also found some prohibited plants and undeclared cigars.
I'm not even a fucking
According
officer,
to the post, the traveler
and
claimed
like,
the items
dude,
were
what
for
the
rituals,
fuck are you
but
doing?
due to serious health risks, they were seized and destroyed.
What are you doing?
Although
what
since then, a
this?
Homeland Security spokesperson wouldn't confirm the status of the remains. Investigators also aren't saying where the passenger came from, where they were going, and if they were detained. Some travelers hope authorities can get some answers.
They have different cultures and things like that sort, but not with human remains. Like, it's still wrong.
And the answers to many of these unanswered questions are going to have to come from the Department of Homeland Security.
This has nothing to do with
we
culture.
just don't know when that might happen.
What?
At this
no,
point, Allie, all they're
that
saying is that this is an ongoing investigation.
Fucking weird and inhumane. Like,
Okay.
what?
Sort of at a loss for words with this one.
What is
Aaron.
that?
Thank you.
A voodoo. Yeah, that's some voodoo shit. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently they're from a different country, I guess. I don't fuck. Holy shit, that was terrible. So this is the multiple people shot at New Hampshire, apparently. Video surveillance showed one suspect shooter in the attack who has been detained. Video surveillance has confirmed there was only one shooter, and they are currently being detained. The scene is still an active investigation, but there are no further danger to the public. We'll get some more news tomorrow. I'll come back on tomorrow. And we'll see. We'll check it out. And see. There should be more. They should have like a press conference or some shit.
Of course, we head right down here. We got in before they shut everything down.
Yeah, there you have it.
Shocking information, Jack. Thank you for being on the phone with us. I know that this went from having maybe a couple of cocktails on the patio with your friends and your buddies after a round of golf today, and you mentioned that you heard shots fired. Can you tell us, was it several rounds of shots? Was it a couple of pops? What did you hear exactly?
It sounded like about 6 or 7 shots is what I heard, and it was just so much to process all at one moment in time, and I just didn't know what to do except for run.
And Jack, too, give us sort of the lay of the land of Sky Meadow, because you can have a golf round with your pals out there, but there might also be a wedding going on, and then there might be another room where there are just folks coming out for dinner. So what does it look like on the inside? How many different rooms are there on the inside? And can you tell us in what proximity did you hear those shots fired? Was it in a ballroom of sorts, or a place where sort of a gathering might be going on?
Yeah, so there's a couple rooms upstairs, the restaurant, and then the ballroom, which typically has the weddings and celebrations. And I was just on the 18th green. It looked like everybody was getting ready to celebrate the wedding, and it sounded like it was happening from the restaurant because it just sounded so close. And it was just insane.
And Jack, I can imagine it was chaotic. It was, as you mentioned, hard to process everything all at once. Walk us through how you eventually got to a safe place and you know, ended up being okay.
Yeah, so I had sprinted from where I was to the first tee box, just a spot that I thought would be safe, and I heard my friend yelling my name, and so I gave him a call. It didn't go through. I called him again, and he said, meet me at the car park, it's not safe to be here. And so I sprinted down there, and I'm just so lucky that he was down there able to pick me up, and we just drove away safely, and I'm just lucky to be where I am right now.
Wow. It's shocking, Jack. I know it's so difficult, but it's important
So this
to
is
give
at
us
a
your
country,
perspective. It
right?
helps us
A country
understand
club
what's
is
been going on
basically
there.
a golf
were you there as
course,
the police
like
first started
bed
to
and
respond?
breakfast type of place.
By the time
It's like a
I had
loungy type of.
really realized what was going on, there were about at least 15, 20 police cars there at that time.
I guess you can kind of call it a restaurant. I think.
Okay, Jack. We appreciate your time tonight.
I've
We're
never
so
been
glad
to a
that you are
country
safe.
club. That's like
Take
rich
care of your
people
friends too.
golfing
That was a lot to
bullshit.
witness today. We appreciate you taking some time to talk to us.
I've never been
Thank you very
golfing,
much.
as you can tell. Anyways, here you have it.
That he says will ask companies to pay one.
What is this?
Major changes coming to the H-1B worker visa program after President Trump signed
Do
a
not
proclamation
redeem.
that he says will
Do
ask
not
companies to
redeem.
pay
Oh, he redeemed.
$100,000 a year for skilled worker visa applicants coming to
redeemed.
the United States. Madeline Rivera is here in studio with more. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Mike. So this is interesting. The Trump administration has brought up a number of frustrations with the H-1B visa program. The H-1B visa allows employers to petition for highly skilled foreign professionals. The administration says it's been exploited to replace American workers with employees who are paid
I mean,
less.
you could say some of the
They
visa
say that
systems
makes it
have
harder
been,
for Americans,
been used
especially
to
college
exploit
grads, to find
stuff, right?
jobs. Critics also say there are national security
one
risks
does
by
with
fewer
any
Americans
system.
pursuing careers in science and technology. About 85,000 H-1B visas are available each year. Recipients are typically chosen through a lottery system. That number could go down significantly if the $100,000 annual fee for these visas survives legal muster.
If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here, $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board.
Tech companies will likely feel the brunt of this change. Government data shows
I mean, don't
Amazon
worry
has
about
the largest
California.
group of
Oh,
H-1B
wait, shit,
visa
you can't
workers, with Microsoft, Meta, Apple,
mean,
and
don't
Google
worry about
trailing
California,
behind
right?
it. Back in
It's
December,
okay.
President Trump said he supports H-1B visas. Elon Musk credited the program with bringing him to America and allowing him to hire people for his companies SpaceX and Tesla. Separately, the president is rolling out what he calls a gold
you think I'm
card
joking
immigration
about California?
pathway.
California's
It would
already
expedite
fucked, to be
visas for
honest.
immigrants who can pay a $1 million
With Gavin
fee.
Newsom and
Companies can
Karen
pay
Bass
$2
and all
million
the Democrats
to
that are
sponsor
running
an
the fucking
employee.
state. Yeah,
The
no,
president
it's
says
already
the gold card could bring in billions of dollars in revenue, which he says will reduce the country's taxes and pay off debt, Mike.
We will follow it. Maddie, thanks so much.
You got it.
For more on this, I'm joined by Pennsylvania Congressman and House Financial Services member, Congressman Dan Muser. Congressman, welcome.
Mike, great to be with you.
First, let me get your reaction to this change to the H-1B visa program.
Well, you know what? The largest change actually is that the rules of the H-1B will now be enforced, because they really weren't before. It wasn't managed. No one was held accountable. 85,000 people were coming in a year. They would overstay their 3-year allowables. There was no tracking after that. So the whole thing was terribly mismanaged. And the president, you know, frankly, is just absolutely right. I mean, he was elected to carry out his America First agenda. You've got young people spending $200,000, $250,000, $300,000 on college degrees, to get these type of these type of tech jobs after graduation, and yet we're giving so many of them away. I mean, it's gone up rapidly. The numbers don't lie. It's like 28% now of those jobs are fulfilled by foreign workers. And you know what? The employers are taking advantage of that. They feel they can pay them a little bit less since they're coming from other places with less per capita. And now with this $100,000 fee sort of equalizes it, and we'll see how it goes. The president inputs these things, and Howard Lutnick, you heard. We'll see how it goes.
Well, if it's late September, Congressman's having a government funding fight. Now, you all passed a continuing resolution in the House, and then it failed in the Senate. So, Congressman, how does this play out?
Well, we did pass it in the House. It's a continued resolution. There's a couple of other things, but it's very clean. It makes all kinds of sense. Look, the only reason we didn't get our appropriations bill done by September 30th is because we had the BBB, and that was highly significant. That was the priority, and it was so very important to get done. So we need a little bit more time here. The idea that the Democrats are playing ridiculous politics here, it's an extension into November. There's really no harm behind it. Chuck Schumer is all concerned about, his political position, and it's just terrible. It's once again.
Well, I mean, all of these guys are getting right. Their midterm elections are coming up.
So we need to get this done. The Senate needs to pass it. We need to get on with the people's work.
All these guys
might get shut down. We shut down the government, which will it really in the end helps no one.
At this point, House leadership, Congressman, is not planning on bringing members back until after the deadline. In your view, is that likely to change?
It could, right? We'll all certainly be on standby. This is very, very important, but it's really up to the Senate now. We did our job. It's a good CR. It's clean. It's for a short term. The Senate now needs to act. We've got serious issues.
Literally, all these politicians have until now,
economy, national security, NDAA,
until the
my committee and
until the midterm elections in 2026.
There's a lot of work
so
to be done.
They have
we
about
need to get this budget done. Get the appropriations bills completed, move on, do the people's work, strengthen our economy.
They gotta
because
get
I'll tell you what, Mike, we're really
on
on a roll. Every indicator, people want to say, oh, tariffs are doing this, and we're seeing the Fed lowering its interest rates finally. That needs to continue. We think it will. So we can have a great 25 closing out. Accelerated economic activity in the fourth, have a higher GDP, and really have a great 2026.
Let me follow up on that quickly. You're a financial services member. What's the impact or what's the state of the American economy?
It's very, very good, and I don't say that because that's Dan Muser's view of things. I mean, I talk with bank presidents. I talk with the Federal Reserve folks. I talk with certainly the administration. I talk with a lot of banks. I talk with a lot of businesses, international businesses. Things are having a sort of a soft landing, if you will. There's really no concern for a recession.
I mean, it's obviously not just not just the Geeks, right? It's obviously some right from the Asian countries too,
really
like
need
China.
to come down because housing needs to kick off from that.
I mean, maybe
and the
you
lower
have
interest rates creates
maybe you
even
have some
more
people from
pro-growth
the
supply
EU.
side production. Once that domestic American-made production meets demand or exceeds demand, that's certainly
No
the
one from
definition of
Canada,
lowering
because
inflation.
Canada's lame and
So
gay.
we, I've got some good things going. We can't let Schumer and those who are looking out for their politics.
They don't
rather
even
than
have
the
a
best interests of
military.
com-
Why
there is
do
a
we
time
need
to
them?
govern. There's a time for politics. There's a time for government.
They're a waste of
let's,
space.
Let's get things done for the American people so we have these economic opportunities moving forward.
Congressman Dan Muser, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the
there
Will.
you have it. If you want to, that is the Fox News. All right, and then we obviously got our Golden article. This came out, what was it, yesterday or some shit? 2 days ago? But Trump's Golden Dome will cost 10,000 to 100, or I'm sorry, 10,000 what? 10 to 100 times more than the Manhattan Project. Well, duh. Especially with what he wants to do. Literally, this guy wants to put a bunch of literally, like turret launchers and missile launch, right? Maybe even drone launchers too, so that he can combat any missile attacks. Missile or drone attacks. Man, he's even probably planning for if someone's trying to drop a nuclear bomb, right? The Golden Dome is a highly ambitious, multi-layered U.S. missile defense system proposed by the President Donald Trump, aiming to provide near complete protection. Right, even with the threat of a nuclear bomb. Yes, I mean obviously he's not gonna fucking say it here, but yes, that includes the nuclear bomb. Missile threats including ballistics, hypersonic, and cruise missiles, along with drones, ICBMs, basically, too. All right, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Announced officially in May 2025, the project seeks to develop space-based interceptors and sensors integrated with land, sea, and air defenses. And there you have it. A technological leap intended to shield the entire United States. Right. I mean, at some point, you're gonna see a lot of weapon systems in space, right? In a sense, that's the military future warfare, right? A bunch of weapon systems in fucking space. The leadership of the project is under U.S. Space Force General Michael Gutlin, highlighting the central role of space-based technologies. The system is inspired partly by Israel's Iron Dome, but vastly expanded in scale, aiming to achieve what Trump described as a mission that President Reagan initiated 40 years ago, to eliminate missile threats to the homeland with near 100% success. Projected costs, however, are staggering. Estimates suggests a price tag ranging from $175 billion to potentially over $3 trillion by 2045, making it 10 to 100 times more expensive than landmark projects like the Manhattan Project or even the F-35 fighter program. The Congressional Budget Office projected costs between $161 billion and $542 billion for about 20 years, while some insiders foresee multi-trillion-dollar figures due to the system's size, complexity, and technological requirements. The architect includes thousands of space-based interceptors, advanced ground and sea missile batteries, high-powered directed energy weapons like lasers, and the integration of AI for rapid threat detection and response. It envisions a global satellite constellation capable of detecting missile launches in real time and intercepting threats during their boost and glide phases, a capability that could provide unprecedented defense depth. Correct. Despite significant funding allocations so far, including $25 billion in yearly development, the project faces skepticism about its feasibility, timeline, and costs. Critics note limitations such as the challenge of maintaining thousands of interceptors in fast orbits and the difficulty of efficient coverage given the vast geography. Correct. Moreover, international reaction from nuclear armed adversaries. Well, obviously they're going to have some questions because they don't even have that kind of capability. About escalating arms races and strategic stability. The Golden Dome project envisions a radically new approach to homeland defense. While technically visionary, its success will depend on overcoming immense engineering challenges, securing continued congressional support, and navigating political ramifications. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a mock-up ideal, right? I mean, in a sense, the Pentagon has probably been trying to set aside some funding for defense. Anyways, AI medical tools found to well, I mean, you could probably say that they're probably working towards a more space technology to be used to combat for use for defenses and to combat missile systems and stuff like that, right? Anyways. AI medical tools found to downplay symptoms of women, ethnic minorities. We got DEI AI tools. DEI medical tools. How unfortunate. Artificial intelligence tools increasingly used in healthcare are found to downplay or underestimate symptoms in women and ethnic minorities, risking worse health outcomes for these groups. Research has revealed that AI systems trained on historical medical data often perpetuate existing biases embedded in healthcare, leading to disparities in diagnoses and treatment. The bias arises partly because many AI models are trained on data sets that underrepresents women and minority populations or reflect historical inequalities in care access and treatment. Well, I mean, that's because not everyone's rich. Not everyone has fucking the health, right? No, not everyone can enter into the healthcare system in a sense, right? Like, people, I mean, even with having jobs, right? Some people don't even use the healthcare system like they should. Teach their own. And then you also have those religious fanatics who don't, use the healthcare. They're just they do, that weird holistic medicine where they don't fucking do medication, right? They don't use medicine at all, and they bite down on a piece of wood. Anyways, the bias arises partly because many AI models are trained on data sets that this results in tools predicting lower risks or less severe symptoms of for these groups despite their potentially higher vulnerability. Examples include AI symptoms prioritizing care for healthier white patients over sicker black patients due to using cost data instead of health needs. The chatbots or diagnostic aids that fail to recognize or adequately respond to symptom reports from women and minorities. So basically, they're saying it's not prioritizing the people that are whose healths are who need the most paying attention to, right? It's prioritizing people who aren't, right. It's I want to maybe a mixed bag in a sense, but it's not recognizing or reorganizing in a way that's productive in a sense, right? It's being counterproductive, right? Anyways, additionally, AI struggles with recognizing complex or culturally specific symptom presentations, which can differ by sex, race, or ethnicity. This amplifies the risk of misdiagnoses or delayed treatment for marginalized groups. Experts, this is sounding like some DEI bullshit. Anyways, experts emphasize that AI is not inherently objective. It mirrors human biases and data and design. Well, duh. It's made by a fucking human. Alright? There's still kinks you need to fucking work out, do you not? Anyways, they call for more inclusive data collection, better representation. Well, not only that, it's the data collection that is that is not being collected properly, mishandling of data, the person's not being truthful of their diagnosis or their problems, right? It could be it's a multitude of factors, right? I mean, you're obviously gonna get a mixed bag of shit, right? So, and you're just gonna have to try and parse that out, right? Anyways, where was it? Where were they? Call more inclusive data mirrors. They call for more inclusive data collection, better representation of diverse populations in medical research, and development of AI systems using participatory design approaches that involve marginalized groups. Key recommendations include enhancing transparency and accountability of AI tools, improving healthcare provider training on bias, and enforcing ethical AI principles focused on equity. Oh, Jesus. Dude, why does this sound like someone who DEI wrote this? Right? It's like, I don't like that, dude. International guidelines advocate for human rights, inclusivity, and privacy. The medical field isn't about DEI. The medical field is supposed to fucking make sure you're fucking healthy and not gonna fucking croak anytime soon, yes? It's to prolong your life, not to fucking get you killed. Anyways, but Taylor frameworks addressing the intersectional biases affecting women and ethnic minorities are urgently needed. Addressing these challenges is critical as AI becomes more integrated into clinical decision-making and patient care to avoid deepening already existing health disparities. Okay, whatever. I mean, honestly, whoever wrote this sounds like a DEI person who thinks DEI is the problem solver to everything, and it's like, dude, what are you talking about? DEI shackle, like, it fucks you up. Like, what do you? You're not putting people of merit. Like, you talk about this ideology that's not even about trying to make sure you're healthy and alive. Like, what? Anyways. On to the next. Here's the third strike trans rape suspect prompts rebellion against California law after attack in women's prison. So this is the Tremaine guy. Tremaine Dion Carroll, a biological male who identifies as a transgender woman who has been indicted on multiple charges, including forcible rape in a California women's prison. Carroll allegedly attacking a biological female inmate in the shower at the Central California's women's facility. Carroll, who has a lengthy criminal record, right, including 3 strike offenses, was transferred back to men's prison following the indictment. Carroll was a prominent figure supporting California's SB 132 law, which allows transgender inmates to be housed in facilities consistent with their gender identity without requiring surgery or hormone treatment. Well, it already got misused, by the way. It got misused by this fucking weirdo, right? Where he already basically raped 2 women. Or could have raped a third. Well, he said 3 strikes, so he could have raped a 3rd woman. So he was in the attempt to rape a third convict or prison inmate. Anyways, SB 132 removed prior safeguards that allowed individualized assessments and prohibited discrimination based on anatomy, effectively following inmates to self-identify for housing placement. Yeah, no, I can't believe they allowed something like this. This is to what? To not have a government official, right, someone who's in the medical field to be like, yeah, this is true, or no, this is right, this guy's lying. Right? It's like, come on, dude. To not put in that extra fucking work, It's not even, it wouldn't even fucking take that long. That's the fucking crazy thing. Holy fucking shit. You guys are fucking retarded. Fuck you people. Holy shit. You guys need to be hung. Jesus Christ. Women's rights groups, including the Women's Liberation Front. Wolf? No. I'm sorry. This is a cult. Argue that SB 132 endangers cisgender women by... Oh my god, that's where you just fucking... Really? Did you really have to do... Cisgender women by housing biological males. Can't you just be like... Can't you just be normal and just say there's two genders already? Like... If you want to make a basis for a third gender, just don't even try right now. I don't even fucking try. Anyways. And then regardless of a criminal history or physical attributes, which the law forbids considering they are suing, to have the law declared unconstitutional, asserting it violates the 8th Amendment due to increased risk of sexual assault. Carroll's case has heightened tensions around SB 132. Advocates for transgender rights, including the ACLU, Lambda Legal, defend the law and Carroll's representation, emphasizing investigations and fair treatment of all allegations. See what I mean? You got a bunch of fucking activists being fucking retarded, which allowed this dude to commit more crime, by the way. Like, what? Critics argue the law is it is too fucking lax on this guy. Holy shit. They allowed him to go into a prison and rape 2 women. Like, what? And dangerous in a women's correctional prison, too, by the way. In a full women's prison. He was able to get in a full women's prison by just being like, oh yeah, I'm transgender, yo. Yo, I'm transgender, guys. I can be in this fucking prison. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Holy shit. Critics argue the law is too lax, allow dangerous individuals to enter women's prisons, citing Carroll's history of violence and disruptive behavior. The debate reflects a broader controversies around transgender policies in incarceration, with lawmakers divided and activists on both sides making passionate cases. Well, I mean, it's because these lawmakers are probably getting paid by these activists to do this kind of fucking bullshit. Fuck you. While SB 132 aims to protect transgender inmates from violence and discrimination, opponents warn of diminished safety for female inmates, calling for reforms and balance all inmates' protection. Well, I mean, that's probably because they're getting paid to fuck you in the ass, right? That's what's happened. Sorry to say, you're getting paid to get fucked. Anyways, on to the next. I'll leave, like I said, I'll leave everything in the description.
A 4-year-old child has died over a stolen car. And I just want that to sink in for just a minute.
Now, Queen City News, several arrests made in the deadly shooting of a sleeping child in southwest Charlotte. The new details just released from the investigation. And in the wake of the deadly light rail stabbing, the changes that Governor Josh Stein now calling for as he visits Charlotte for the first time since the incident. Kara.
The weather's nice outside, but our dry situation, it's gotten worse here this week. If there's any relief with any rain in the forecast as we head into the weekend, that's coming up.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Alicia Barnes. Queen City News at 4 starts right now with breaking developments in the investigation into the deadly shooting of the 4-year-old that happened yesterday in southwest Charlotte. 4 suspects are now facing charges in connection with that deadly shooting, and court records now show Anthony Abel joins Angelo Hudson, Jordan Davis,
Queen
and
City,
Marquise
where is
Guerriere
that,
as the
Chicago?
suspects now in custody after a series of crimes yesterday that ended in gunfire at a home on Cigar Court. Now, officials now say that Abel was arrested in
Queen
Raleigh.
City?
CBD officials also say the victim has been identified as 4-year-old J.C. Edwards. Queen City News reporter Robin Kennedy heard from neighbors and the police about the tragic shooting.
And I just want to stress the gravity of the situation that a 4-year-old child has died over a car.
Hearts are heavy over the loss of 4-year-old Jace Edwards, but neighbors are feeling relieved that 4 suspects have now been arrested and charged with murder.
I think that's good news.
New York has a pretty high crime rate too.
Justice will prevail all the way through.
Charlotte-Mecklenburg police say Wednesday morning around 6 a.m., someone at the home of the 4-year-old saw the suspects trying to steal a car in the parking lot of the townhomes on Cigar Court. Police say the suspects then just started firing into the home, shooting and killing 4-year-old Jace.
This has deeply shaken the community,
The Deep South.
and the officers that have
And
to
it's
respond
always
to
the
this,
East Coast, man.
to this incident.
A manhunt got underway
everything
in
originates,
southwest Charlotte. Police say they received information that the
Always the
suspects
East
may
Coast.
have been in a white Jeep Cherokee. They found that car, tried to pull them over, and got into a chase that ended on Duval Drive. Then there was a standoff and barricade situation for hours
Man,
until
you
police
can't just
arrested
you can't trust
24-year-old
East
Marquise
Coasters.
Garrier,
Man, you can't even trust
20-year-old
West
Angelo
Coasters. Too.
Hudson, and 23-year-old Jordan
full of
Davis.
Democrat
Police say
shitheads.
18-year-old Anthony Abel got away and fled to Raleigh and was arrested Thursday.
Every one of these
Everyone in the middle
offenders
is
have had some prior
basically
contact with
somewhat
law
okay,
enforcement,
but
and that's
everyone on
just,
the literally the coastline, everyone's a fucking asshole.
Sometimes the
Piece of
challenge
shit.
we have to face is with people that are repeat offenders, and it's our responsibility to keep making those arrests, and we do our part and hope the justice system can do their part.
In Charlotte, Robin Kennedy, Queen City News.
Queen City News Plus. Just search
There you
Queen
have it.
City News on your smart TV's app store.
Breaking news, federal agents at the Broadview Immigration Facility fired pepper balls at protesters and took at least 2 people into custody. It appears some type of gas dispersed the crowd at one point. Good morning, I'm Dana Rebick in
And they
for
got
Patrick
tear gas.
Elwood.
Good.
And I'm Dina Bear. Thank you
Deserved.
for joining us. Take a look right
Honestly, I
now.
would've probably
Demonstrators
done
are
more than just
still
tear gas.
outside that facility. You're
probably
looking
would've
at a
thrown a
live picture from
flashbang or two,
Skycam 9
just on
now.
purpose.
WGN's
Just be
Eric
like, yeah,
Rung
fuck
is
you
on
guys,
the
I'm
ground
black,
live
you
in
fucking
Broadview
assholes.
with the very latest. Eric?
Yeah, I'm gonna tear gas you fucks.
Well, good morning. Even a couple of hours after the federal
Oh,
agents
man,
used those
dude,
chemicals on
I
the
would
demonstrators
laugh
out here,
if
you could
they
still
gave
feel
these
it stinging your eyes
officers
as well as your
fucking
throats.
concussed grenades.
Protesters out here say they're not going to back down.
Throwing fucking concussed grenades at fucking
In a cloud of tear gas smoke, federal agents
Well, it's
attempt
not
to
harmful.
leave the immigration
I mean,
processing
yeah, it's
center
kind
in
of fucked
Broadview.
up.
I think the
but
big
it's
flashpoint
not
is when
harmful.
people were getting shot directly with tear gas and treated horribly, thrown to the ground.
At least 2 protesters were detained and
There's
taken
nothing
inside
wrong
the
with a little
facility.
bit of
So they keep
stinging.
saying
You
they're
know?
going to continue to use chemical agents against us, and we can plan to just stand here, hold this line.
For the 4th Friday in a row, about 100 or so demonstrators have gathered outside the facility to protest ICE's enhanced immigration enforcement known as Operation Midway Blitz.
Yeah, they went into Memphis or something like that. Chicago.
The lieutenant governor was here today and tells us neither her or the governor have received any information from the Trump administration.
And what I can say is that what I've heard and what I understand is that the conditions are deplorable. That this was to be a processing center and it's being used as a detention center, or at least people staying longer than just processing.
The Trump administration says this enhanced enforcement effort is to get the worst of the worst undocumented immigrants out of the country. Demonstrators believe all
I mean, that's why we
undocumented immigrants
created
are being
alligator
targeted.
Alcatraz.
Yeah, you can't not. It's in the air, but also just
Right,
the
nobody
terrors
wants
that they're trying
nobody
to
wants
impose.
us
It's
to
not gonna
build
work,
what
but ultimately, yes, I
Bukele
think
built.
everybody else is a little
Right,
shaken up right now, but
fucking-
we're still here.
No, nobody wants a super security max
Now, the
prison
demonstrators
like Bukele.
have decreased
Yeah, so
significantly
we-
out in front of this
I say we
Broadview
give them the
Immigration
Bukele
Processing
treatment.
Center. There's
Instead,
still
we
about
just
20 to
make one
30
in
of them
America.
still here, although things have been quiet,
That'll fucking
and we
piss
haven't
people
seen
off.
any more chemicals deployed. We're live in Broadview. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.
Thank you, Eric.
Start fucking
We'll check in
throwing
again
all
with
the
Eric at the top
retards
of the
in
next
there.
hour, and our coverage also continues online at WGNTV.com and on the WGN TV Plus streaming app.
All right, here we go. What's this?
You're not coming in. Simple as that. You're not coming into our sacred spaces. You're not coming in. You're not coming in. You're not coming in.
Why not? Why can't I come in? Because I said you not.
This is Larry Krasner's town hall at Mother Bethel
Why
Church.
can't you ain't coming in? There's members create human law to prevent Philly man from entering town hall. Oh.
You're not coming in our sacred space, as simple as that. Because I said you're not coming in. I'm saying you're not coming in. You have no right to tell me. You're not coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. They seem to be.
You'll see what it means. I don't care. You'll see what it means to come up in here. You're going to see what it means.
He said don't
Damn.
people, he said.
This is against the law, by the way.
We were trying to come to the event. You know, they denied us entry. They have a human wall. They have the blue wall.
You touch me, dude, we're gonna have a problem. Des, let you know. Don't touch me.
He's got a fucking nose right.
You need a
Oh look, there are a bunch of Karens. Look at that. Oh, there's even some public officials there doing some shit too.
This is the party of inclusivity.
Wow. Yeah, that's the party of inclusivity. By the way. Yeah, they're the tolerant left, by the way. Right, religious people who call for your death, by the way.
They can handle their own.
My religion. My religion.
We go to where we want to worship, okay? If you want to come and make
You're
a plan
worshiping
of it,
Larry
do it
Krasner?
in your own.
You're not coming in. You're not coming in. Simple as that. You're not coming into our sacred spaces. You're not coming in.
This is sacred ground.
You're not coming in. You're not coming in.
Why not? Why can't I come in?
Because
Dude, they got like
this is
bouncers
Larry
right there.
Krasner's
Look
town hall
at
at Mother
that.
Bethel
That
Church.
It's
It's
a
they like paid a bouncer or something.
You're not coming to our sacred space. Where are you? You're not coming in our sacred space.
Okay. Anyways, they're just gonna keep replaying the same thing. But yeah, there you have it. Yes, they are the party of clowns, as you can see. Very tolerant of them. Let's see, what's this? California man try. Oh yeah, this is the mudslide. That was it. Right, this is the mud flood that was happening. Apparently there was right. Remember I read out earlier. There was unfortunately there was a kid swept away into this, and you can tell how bad that is. Look, that's all dirt and fucking rot. That's all sediment, right? Wood, right? It's like once you get swept in that, it's like a mudslide, right? You get swept up, that you're not coming out alive. Look at the damage to the car it caused. Because it's all mud and like heavy rocks and right, it's all condensed rocks and right. It's all bad news. And you can see big chunks of wood in there too.
Watch out!
Boom. Honestly, this guy should have just should have pushed this car that was right there. He shouldn't have backed up. He should have just like moved, right? Should have drove forward, around, right? No, he's stuck in there. I don't know if he's still in the car. Anyways, there you have it, the mudslide. That also apparently claimed a life. All right, and then here's this. That was in. Oh, that. I can't remember. It was in. Bloody flash flood.
Watch out!
We can. I think it was like in San Bernardino or something like that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, San Bernardino County. Yeah. Anyways, on to the next. Sorry. Parent from hell kept 6 kids, including infant, in locked storage unit. Images reveal horrifying conditions. A Wisconsin couple are facing multiple neglect charges after their 6 children, including an infant, were found living in a locked, filthy storage unit. Jeez. Here we go. Here's the fucked up, the shit I was talking about. Authorities in Milwaukee, right? This is a what? This is a. We read, or there was another case we read like a couple months back or something. That was like from last year or the year before that, right? There's a lot of these fucking fucked up cases, to be honest. Authorities in Milwaukee made the shocking discovery at a store-safe facility on Tuesday after reports emerged of children trapped inside a small windowless unit. A criminal complaint seen by Daily Mail said. When officers arrived, they were met with a putrefied smell and discovered 6 children inside, ages ranging from just 2 months to 9 years old. Charles Dupriest, 33, and Isaiah Zielinski, wow, 26, were arrested and charged with 6 counts of child neglect each, 4 of which are felonies that included enhanced charges for neglect involving children under 6. Jesus Christ. Dupriest, a registered, and he's a sex offender too, wow. Also faces an additional charge of being a felon in possession of a and he had a firearm. Oh, that's interesting. So he's a registered sex offender with a firearm somehow. Okay, well, he probably lied the fuck a lot, yeah. Officers first on the scene responded to the facility after concerns of child crying from inside one of the units. One of the officers also heard a child coughing inside the unit upon arrival, but saw that a padlock on the garage-style door was preventing anyone from getting out, the complaint said. Firefighters were called to cut the padlock, revealing 6 children inside, the youngest just 2 months old. Jesus fuck. That is absolutely disgusting. Here's the fucking disgusting human beings, right? Authorities also found an orange bucket of that's gross in the middle of the dark room, and noted that only light available to the children came from a narrow crack beneath a garage-style door. That's fucking gross. It was at this point that a 5-year-old child quietly told the detective, "We're not supposed to be loud." Oh, geez. Officers eventually woke the oldest child, a 9-year-old, who identified Dupriest and Zielinski as their parents. The child, who said he stayed at the storage unit about half the time, went on to describe the responsibilities he was given to care for the other 5 children while their parents were away. Yeah. These guys are getting like child endangerment, right? These people are human scum, right? They're garbage. He explained that when the infant cried, it was his job to give a bottle of pacifier, but he was also hungry himself and had no phone or way to contact his parents in an emergency. In the complaint, detectives described the unit as in disarray, containing only a sectional couch and bare twin mattress, without bed sheets where 3 of the children slept. Boxes of chips, milk, and case of soda were found inside the unit, but there was no electricity, running water, or lighting. And the foul smell was so overwhelming, the detectives couldn't stay inside. Yeah, I bet. Well, I mean, how long do you think they've been staying in there and defecating and peeing in the right? Fuck, man. That's like inhumane, right? This is like torturous treatment, right? Inhumane treatment of children, right? You're like, these people are getting like life in prison, hopefully. Jesus Christ. About an hour later, detectives found Dupriest and Zelensky sleeping inside their black Ford Expedition SUV in the parking lot. They also found a loaded gun in the center console of their car, so that's where the gun was. Shady as fuck. Ghetto as shit. A pair admitted that they slept there with their dog while their children remained locked inside the unit, according to the complaint. However, authorities observed that the vehicle had 3 rows of seat, with the middle row entirely open. The couple claimed to be homeless, but later admitted there was no real need for their children to live in the unit, as they could have stayed with family or friends. What? What the fuck? Like, see, this is like some rat shit, like fucking inhumane behavior shit. Like, why? Just why? Why are you like this? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Detectives also spoke with a storage facility employee who recalled hearing an adult male say, "Dude, the crazy thing, it's almost the same, like, it's literally the same MO with all these people that do this kind of shit. Like, oh, we're only doing this because we didn't care, blah, blah, blah. We had family and could have given them that." I'm just like, fuck. You have family and friends you could have, right? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. The employee provided authorities, wait, hold on. Detectives also spoke with a storage facility employee who recalled hearing an adult male say, "Sit down and be quiet," while cleaning outside the unit back in May, according to the docs. The employee provided authorities with surveillance footage showing Dupriest and Zelensky dropping off their children at the unit and noted that he had seen a twin-sized mattress inside. He explained that he reported the issue to management, who issued an eviction notice to the unit's owner, but he grew increasingly irritated after discovering a burned marijuana blunt on the keypad outside their unit. So they're a bunch of fucking crackheads, basically. Drug addicts. After the discovery, Dupriest and Zelensky were interviewed, during which the mother of 6 explained that she had struggled to find stable housing for years and was recently evicted from a homeless shelter. Well, it doesn't... People sound suspicious. That's hard to fucking say. These people look like fucking career criminals, man. Zelensky admitted that after giving birth, and they had, and they're giving birth and trying to get children and shit, trying to live off that fucking welfare and shit. She was kicked out of Joy House, a women and children's shelter at the Milwaukee Rescue Mission, though the documents don't specify the reason. She said her children had been living in the storage unit for about 6 weeks, relying on food from local organizations, food stamps. Oh, there's your... see, this is where your fucking... Right, this is where your fucking money is going. Right, to these fucking criminals. Holy shit. Like, what the fuck? They're in the fucking food stamps program. They're literally in your fucking program stealing Americans' money. You literally have a bunch of fucking criminals in your system, and this is how you fucking treat America? Fuck you people. Jesus fuck. Holy fucking. The mother confessed to giving her children the bucket and admitted to owning the firearm, but said Dupriest had handled the gun as well. So both of their DNA would be... Dude, who the fuck gave them... Dude, like, someone had to give... Like, I can't... They've had to lie on shit. They've lied on so many forms, probably. And these people have just been pushing the fucking form. Holy fucking shit. Dude, this is like some fucked up shit. The mother confessed to giving her children the bucket and admitted to owning the firearm, but said Dupriest had handled the gun as well, so both of their DNA would be on it. Dupriest told investigators he had slept in the unit, but stopped after their dog damaged the truck. He also denied handling the gun and refused to provide DNA samples, according to the complaint. The complaint also details interviews with several of the children who described living in the unit and expressed fear and uncertainty about how or if they could ever get out. The 5-year-old child shared feeling sad and mad about being locked in the unit and said the dog got to sleep in the car, which made her feel upset enough to make the unit dirty. She described her parents drinking and smoking inside the unit or their SUV and said her father, who said carried a gun at his hip, told the children to keep quiet about it. So basically, they were a bunch of career criminals, being abusive to their kids, right? Threatening their kids too, right? Fucking, right? Disgusting human behavior, as usual. Garbage. Human garbage. The 9-year-old told detectives that Dupriest would give all the children except the infant whoopings. So basically abuse, right? Child abuse. According to the complaint, on one occasion, Dupriest hit the child's mouth so hard it caused his lip to bleed. After another beating, the child believed he needed hospital care and possibly surgery. He reported that his parents drank tequila and vodka, so they're a bunch of drunks. So alcoholics and a bunch of alcoholics and drug addicts basically became intoxicated and would slump over, leaving him responsible for caring for his younger siblings. During the interview, he also told police that his father had a bunch of guns, which he kept either in the car or on his person. On Friday, Zelensky made her first court appearance where the state requested a $100,000 PR bond, allowing her release without upfront payment based on a promise to appear in court. What? I'm sorry, no. No. I'm sorry, no. No. This is... No. Given all that bullshit, no, you fucking keep that fucking bitch in the prison. Jesus. You keep that bitch until her court trial or her hearing or whatever the fuck. My God. While the defense agreed to the bond request, Court Commissioner Andrea Bolender emphasized that the seriousness of the charges warranted stronger consideration. You are supposed to protect them, and these children are now supposed to have lifelong scars that will affect... Right, you put these... Right, you give these... I hate to say it, but you have to put these people into fucking child adoptive care or whatever, right? That's that system. Right. You have to put them in there because these parents are Jesus fuck. They're alcoholics. They're fucking crazy. Right. They were being abusive. They were like they almost literally drove these kids to die by fucking living in inhumane conditions. Literally. Now you were supposed to. This court has a duty to protect these children and protect others. She added, "This type of mentality to think this is okay, this cannot go on." Yeah, honestly, there's been too many cases too like this too. It's like, dude, you can't just keep letting this go on. Like, you literally cannot let this keep going on. Ultimately, a $5,000 cash bond was set for Zelensky, with her preliminary hearing scheduled for September 25th. Later that day, Dupriest made his initial court appearance, where the state recommended a higher cash bail of $10,000. Dude, that's not enough. The commissioner agreed with the recommendation, but ultimately doubled the cash bail to $20,000. Dupriest's preliminary hearing is also scheduled for September 25th. Honestly, they should be in there for longer, to be honest. They're fucking abusive fucking people. They're human garbage, right? I put them up there with like attempted murderers, right? Fuck you. Like this is fuck that shit, dude. Those people are attempted murderers. They almost just killed they're being abusive to their kids, making their kids live in inhumane conditions. No, they're fucking trying to kill their kids.
New details for you now after that FBI raid at a home in Westlake. It was in connection with an investigation into the House of Prayer. The Department of Justice says 8 people got indicted on 26 charges.
We read
for
about
fraud
this guy,
schemes and
Ronnie
tax
Dennis.
matters. That includes the founder of the House of
House
Prayer,
of Prayers,
Ronnie
motherfuckers,
Dennis,
right?
who
The
lives
cult.
at that home and was taken into
Religious
custody
cult.
yesterday morning. He's down in the Jefferson County Jail. And today, more information from the FBI about this whole thing. They had a news conference. Graham Lee was
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Let me get a... let us continue. Sorry, I forgot.
Jail. And today, more information from the FBI about this whole thing. They had a news conference. Graham Lee was there. He's live at the federal courthouse in Augusta now. Graham?
Well, Brad, that press briefing wrapped up a couple of hours ago. We heard from several officials at the national and local levels. We weren't allowed to ask any questions, but we did get some important new details and information about the investigation from the FBI, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the U.S. Army Criminal Investigations Division.
The indictment represents the culmination of years of investigative work.
Court documents show the FBI has been looking into the House of Prayer founder Ronnie Dennis since as early as July 1983. 3 years ago, FBI agents raided the House of Prayer churches in Hinesville and Hephzibah as part of a fraud investigation. Investigators allege that church leaders manipulated members into turning over personal information, pressured arranged marriages, and forced them to live in properties that generated rental income for the defendants. Officials say some of those victims are veterans,
especially when they're touting the good word.
The House of Prayer operators exploited veterans and their
families. Are you trying to use God as a vehicle, or are you
for their own
or are you
we will aggressively pursue anyone who attempts to exploit the trust and confidence.
Are you
and
the good ones? I can't tell. It's hard to tell.
Members,
are you a good one?
Have
I don't
put
know.
Towards
if you're a good
and earned some of these benefits that unfortunately have been targeted and exploited.
Then Wednesday morning, agents raided Dennis's Westlake home in Columbia County. He's now facing several charges, including conspiracy to commit bank fraud, aiding in the filing of a false tax return, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. The FBI says they're now turning this investigation towards helping more victims and bringing them justice.
Your voice matters. Reporting your experiences may help us uncover the scope of harm and hold all those responsible accountable. It takes exceptional courage to come forward, and we recognize that, and the FBI and our partners will do everything we can to protect you in that endeavor. In order to report those crimes,
Heard Brian Osden there, and that is exactly his point. The next part of this investigation for the FBI is to help the victims that have been impacted by the actions of the House of Prayer. So if you feel like you are a victim in this case, they're encouraging you to contact investigators. So for ways to find out how to do that, we have that information on our website, wjbf.com. On our website, you'll also find the full list of indictments for everyone involved in this case as well. Live in Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF News Channel 6.
Thank you. You got a train in the... Why is he in a place where there's a fucking train, man? Oh, shit. Body of 15-year-old found in singer David... dude, this shit is gonna be so fucking crazy. What's gonna happen? I wonder what's gonna happen. Because, I mean, all the evidence is pointing to him. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Now, in a moment, I'm going to bring in my next guest, Andy No, who I think is America's
What do we got
foremost expert on Antifa,
Oh,
the loosely
Andy
organized, supposedly anti-fascist outfit that came to prominence during the 2020 Summer of Love riots and whose ideology has been tied to the Charlie Kirk shooter.
There's
Now,
the
Donald
shooter.
Trump has vowed to go after Antifa, calling it a terrorist organization.
And the True Antifa.
Who are
I
they?
call them True
Where's
Antifa.
the money coming from? Is it foreign entities?
Yeah, you're going to find out, and we're going to find out in great detail. And it surprised me that Biden
Because they probably have
really
gay
became hot
orgy
over
with
the
each
last
other.
3-4 years.
They're all
It surprised me that Biden wouldn't do it, but then as I got to know him, first of all, he didn't call the shots. He wasn't calling the shots. But as we got to see what was happening in Biden's group, Antifa plays perfectly for them, absolutely perfectly. But it's a terrorist organization, in my opinion, and we're going to find out. All those questions are going to be answered.
Look, I think Donald Trump is absolutely right here, and I have a feeling my next guest will agree. Journalist, documentarian, author of Unmasked, a book all about Antifa, and senior editor at the Post Millennial,
That's
Andy
Andy
No
No.
joins me
He's
now.
doing an
Andy,
interview.
welcome back to the program. Great to have you back on Sky News. Now, first of all, before we get to the Charlie Kirk killing, I want to just get everybody on the same page about Antifa. Tell us about your experience with this group. I know you've had death threats, and is Donald Trump
he actually
on the
got
right track here?
assaulted, like, what, twice?
So since the statement that was released by President Trump yesterday, the gaslighting from the media has begun, and they are saying that Antifa is a figment of the far right's imagination.
Yeah, he
well, I
almost,
can speak
he
that
had to go
they-
to the
there-
hospital. Like,
there
he got
weren't
pretty,
phantoms
he got
who
pretty
beat
beat up.
me severely in
right there.
2019 to the point where I was bleeding out of my ears,
Yeah,
and from my eyes,
yeah.
and suffered a brain
He took a
bleed.
lot of fucking
Those
damage.
injuries were real.
Tell us, Andy, more about Antifa. Who is behind it? How does it organize? Because one of the things that I hear people on the left say is, oh, well, it's just an idea, and you can't, fight a war against an idea because it's just an idea. But is there
it's
some
just an
more
idea. Well,
actual
these
coherent
people want to fucking murder you.
organization to it? I know there are cells out there. There's all
They're
sorts
they're
of different
assaulting
groups.
people.
Explain
They're
to me more about
physically
the
assaulting
organization.
people, and you're thinking, oh no, it's
Well,
just
first,
a
their
peaceful protest.
ideology
What
and
the
their
fuck
methods
are
and
you
tactics
talking? They're
is all
assaulting
meant
people.
to
That's not
deceive the
peaceful
public.
anymore,
They
man.
want people to believe that to be part of Antifa simply means to oppose fascism, which is why you see lies from journalists say things like, well, the soldiers who fought against fascism during the Second World War, they were Antifa. And that is...
What? What the
that
fuck
is
are
part
they
of the
talking about?
deception. Antifa, in the contemporary form, the modern form, is a far left, violent extremist, anarchist, communist movement, ideology, network, all of the above. And their agenda is specifically for the
I don't know. I just see a bunch of
the
criminals when
liberal
I see it.
democratic order. And at the head,
Because every
the head
time
of
I
that
see
is to
these
target
guys, they
the
have like
US,
a bunch
which
of
is why,
helmets, or
in
they're in
particular,
like
it
full
goes
body
after
armor,
really attacking the Constitution,
and then they have like weapons
and
on them, and
freedoms like
then they
speech,
start assaulting people. It's like,
and
what?
Even
Are
democracy
you guys
itself,
protesters or rioters?
They attack all these institutions with the hope of revolution. And so what's important to recognize is that in addition to the street militancy and being domestically in the US, they also function internationally. I'm sure many of your viewers and listeners may be familiar with the violence by Antifa in Melbourne, which happens.
Yeah,
and there's
in
Antifa
London
in Europe,
or
and
UK
these
land,
groups
there's a
are
bunch of
connected
Antifa
through
members.
networks,
In France, there was
the
some
next thing
Antifa
that
members.
needs to happen after this designation from President Trump is that the
Was a-
State
wa-
Department
wasn't
needs to
there-
get
wasn't
involved
Po-
and
Poland?
officially designate International
There's,
Antifa as a terrorist entity
there
and
was some
sanction
rioting-
individuals who are involved in that,
some of
because
those
there is information,
EU
tactics,
countries.
flow, and training that is going in between the U.S. and Europe, Canada.
And Andy, I want to take this back to the Charlie Kirk assassination from last week, because, you know, there do seem to be connections between the ideology, as you suggested already, between the Kirk killing and Antifa ideology, but you have also revealed that one Antifa chapter has actually put out a report saying
Canada
that
land.
the killing makes things
they
more
had some
difficult for
true
them.
Antifa
Tell us
members
about
there.
this.
Right.
Yeah, so in the immediate hours in first 2 days after the assassination, all of the Antifa all around the world were celebrating. And they were celebrating not just that Mr. Kirk was assassinated, but that somebody with his views was killed. And therefore they felt that it was emblematic, or he was representing the views of people maybe like you and I. However, from reading that after action report out of an Antifa group in Oregon, they were surprised at the unity in the backlash and anger at what happened. And they did not expect, for example, that people who posted support for the assassination on social media or wherever were then fired from their positions. They didn't expect that previously apolitical institutions, businesses issued, some of them, statements of support for Mr. Kirk's family. They really thought that this would be just another killing that would just be either ignored by the media, or that people could continue celebrating it on the left, and
basically
nothing would
around
happen.
these
So they're quite
forums,
concerned,
their
and they are discussing
target
ways for
is
how to
basically
sabotage
to, I
the
guess,
right
target
now, because they
Israel
really
for some
fear
reason.
that the pendulum changing,
Because
and
I
that
guess
they've
the
been
United
able to
States,
thrive
I
in an
guess,
environment for
has some
years where they can
fucking
dehumanize
weird
the opposition, call them
fascination, or
Nazis,
is being
fascists,
pulled
and
along
therefore
by
worthy of death.
Israel or some
and
shit.
they've had that tool and power.
And then
with
it's
unfortunate
to
support from
take
rhetoric
out
from
certain
Democrats.
political
and they're afraid of
figures.
losing that.
They probably have like some other fucking laundry list of weird fucking shit they want to do, right? Anyways, on to the next. What's this?
Tonight, nearly 200 people are behind bars in Georgia following an FBI sting. Federal, state, and local officials were part of Operation No Escape. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley reports on how the 6-week operation is part of a larger crackdown on crime.
FBI Atlanta Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown calls them the state's most dangerous criminals.
This effort was part of the FBI's surge
Yeah,
to
but
crush
it's the
violent crime.
FBI. You
It was
guys
part of
have
the FBI's
fucked up
larger
sometimes, too.
operation
Going
called
after
Operation
your own
Summer Heat.
constituency.
During the 6-week-long Operation No Escape,
When you're supposed to
federal,
be
state,
protecting
and
America,
local
you
law
fuck
enforcement
around.
combined to arrest 177 fugitives. The cases range from murders to illegal drugs and weapons and human trafficking. The FBI, with help from Atlanta police, tracked down Rico Arnold as part of the sting. He's suspected of a summer shooting on Edgewood Avenue that killed one man and injured 10 others.
Some dangerous actors were taken off of the street and who have made huge negative impacts on the community.
Thomas Brown with the U.S. Marshal Service says several arrests came as a result of criminals converting handguns and rifles into high-powered weapons.
There's certainly going to be ripple effects that
They're doing
stopping
like
that
some
chain of
chop
violence,
shops,
stopping this
right.
chain of crimes throughout
Instead
the
of doing
cities all
car
across the
chop
state of Georgia.
shops, they're
While
doing
these law enforcement
weapon
officials say
chop
crime
shops.
is trending downward across metro Atlanta and the state of Georgia, their fight isn't over.
Until crime is at zero
into
in every
more
one of our
dangerous
communities and
weapons.
everybody is not victimized of crime anywhere in the state of Georgia, it's not good enough.
In Chamblee, Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
The FBI credits the public for helping them make some of these arrests. Of course, those accused still have to go through the legal process and are innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. What we have some news articles here. We got this. We'll finish the. This is the main source is New York City artist killed at posh Hamptons spa, savagely attacked with hammer by suicide lover. Newly released records show. Sabina Coromdel Rosas, A 33-year-old New York City artist was brutally murdered at I'm pretty sure I butchered it. I'm sorry. A luxury Hamptons spa in October 2024. She was savagely attacked with a hammer by her boyfriend and financial benefactor. Benefactor. Thomas J. Gannon, who subsequently took his own life. Newly released records detailed the extent of the violence, showing Rosas sustained extensive blunt force trauma to her skull and defensive wounds, indicating a violent struggle. Gannon, who abandoned her bloodied body in their spa room, later sent a confession message describing Rosas as a real devil and accusing her of financially exploiting him, which he said left him with no choice but to kill her. What the fuck, dude? What? Come on, what? He expressed deep anguish over losing money, family, friends, and future hopes. So he blamed everything on his girlfriend, apparently. Gannon's suicide followed shortly after the murder, ending the tragic episode. Rosas was known in the art community for her striking watercolor paintings and advocacy for Central Asian female artists through her publication, the Ruyo Journal. Her background included moving from Tajikistan to New York at 17. And she was in a relationship with Gannon since 2021, though she had reportedly wanted to end it. Her death shocked both the affluent Hampton community and the New York art scene, which mourned her as a vibrant and gifted soul. The investigation highlighted the intimate and troubled nature of their relationship, and the case exposes complex dynamics or financial control, an obsession leading to violent tragedy. Authorities have not released the murder weapon details publicly, but found a blood-stained hammer at the scene. The community continues to mourn Rosas with while grappling with the disturbing circumstances of her death and Gannon's subsequent suicide. And then here's the last one. Police drug dog busts cocaine possessing Louisiana middle school teacher. So we got a crack addict teacher. 47-year-old math teacher Virginia Summers was arrested at Westdale Middle School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh, man. I go there sometimes. Anyways, well, Baton Rouge, not the middle schools. After drug-sniffing dog alerted officers to the presence of illegal substances, a bag containing cocaine was found in her wallet during a random unannounced drug search. Summers claimed the drugs belonged to a friend and said she was asked to hold them during a recent Louisiana State University football tailgate. Further searches of her vehicle revealed marijuana, several glass pipes. Oh, well, that kind of just, that doesn't. Summers has been charged with the possession of cocaine, marijuana, and a drug paraphernalia. And she has over 10 years of experience as an educator. Well, she's gonna lose that education credentials now, probably. The East Baton Rouge Parish Public School System stated it does not condone such behavior and emphasize maintaining a safe, drug-free environment for students. It is currently unclear if Summers will return to her teaching position. Well, there you have it. Yeah, I believe if you're a teacher, you're not supposed to be, basically, you can't be doing drugs. Because you're under the government paycheck or payroll. So you're some career or jobs want you to do a drug test, right? Especially with whatever kind of work they're doing. Especially if it's like government-related stuff, right? Like healthcare, medical field. Some high-tech field, like some engineering, right, jobs do it. Some high-tech field jobs do. Yeah, just yeah, some places do it. Anyways, trying to be careful. Drugs are bad, okay? Anyways, there you have it. I will be posting all the right links and sources later. It will be in the description of the YouTube title, right? YouTube. Yeah, that is all the news.